Marriage ruins a woman's life. Marriage absolutely ruins a woman's life to the point of where she could potentially be put in a destitute place because of the reality that comes with being in proximity to a man. When you are in proximity to a group of people who are volatile, who are hostile, who are irritable, who are probably going through andropause, who are frustrated, who are angry, who can explode on command depending on whether they are able to regulate themselves, who fail to be emotionally literate individuals, all of that factors into their ability to receive more and more income. The more regulated you are, the quieter you are, the easier it is for you to digest the reality of other people's ability to pour into you from a financial perspective. The easier it is for you to grow as as an entity that eventually is going to have some form of economic progression. If you as a man are unable to control all of those things and use stoicism and masculine conditioning to basically be this imperceptible accoutrement to the overall container that you live inside of, and you attempt to be inside of a woman's life, you are ultimately dismissing the fact that the construct of patriarchy that she has to live inside of is an additional container that you are controlling by not being present in the relationship that the two of you are going to potentially have in the future. And what this does to that woman is it basically alienates her autonomy to connect with you and puts her in worker mode. She now recognizes that she's with someone prior to her even figuring it out beforehand, who is incapable of navigating their own individual world because they are playing the character inside of it. Like they don't have their own individual autonomy. And them not having that autonomy takes away that woman's autonomy if she lives, or simply because she lives in a patriarchal society, right? There are double standards that are automatically placed on top of this woman. So, how that destroys the marriage is that if you tell these people that they are legally bound, right, that the taxes that they receive are going to be potentially harsher, and that woman's going to be taxed more than that man is, or certain things that he is afforded, she's not going to be afforded, that there are going to be so many systems and are so many systems put in place to ensure that if that man leaves that home, doesn't take care of the children, or let alone decides that he no longer wants to take care of her, all of the things about her life are wrecked. Like are simply just like they're wrecked. And not only are they wrecked, if she does not follow a trail that is basically like hoed and sodded by men and by the systems that men create, her own path will have individuals who bring their own contradictions, who bring their own prohibitions, preventing her from seeing any kind of momentum in her own life because she is not following the path that men believe is necessary for women to follow if these women are holding proximity to these men or even allowing themselves to have proximity to these men. The reason why women are not getting married and why they're not having babies is far beyond the crotch level. But to make it easily digestible, economically and psychologically, it puts them in the space of a 12-year-old little boy. Emotionally discombobulated, inferior to those who are older and in better places, hormones all over the place, incapable of taking care of themselves, emotionally destitute, hungry all the time, not feeling good, picking up random sickness. It's like so many horrific things just happened to this woman's life by her being in proximity to a man because of the way that he, by other men, and by dismissal of the actions or the responsibilities that he should have picked up when he was an adolescent child, all of those things, they just affect this woman's life over and over and over and over and over again, and she cannot grow, right? To be married to that is to basically like give this binding contract to say, if this man's life is to go entirely to shit, you are fully aware that everything that happens afterwards is also your responsibility regardless, and that he is afforded the privilege of not having to fix anything that he wrecks behind because he's a man, and society and all constructs that support him will continue to do so. And if you do not cater to him or cater to the collective of people who are like him that run the job force and run the corporate world and run all of these systems, you cannot function and prosper in your life. Women are opting out because they're recognizing, well, if I have to live in this system, I'm going to live in it as comfortably as possible. This is why they don't want women to be single and why they're forcing them to have babies or be in relationships in some way, shape, or form, because they recognize that women are capable of growing at an exponentially faster, like an alarming faster rate than men can, that they can transcend in multiple ways while literally building ecosystems on ecosystems inside of their bodies. And that is something that men are completely incapable of comprehending and or understanding, because of the simple fact that patriarchy forces them to stay so one-dimensional intellectually and constantly need other men to validate them through their own individual experiences. Women have fully been aware of that and are basically raising these men through these relationships. I don't think women should get married at all. And this is great because men will disagree with this, because most men want to marry women because that's what they believe the best part of life is to be. It's like you grow old, you get a job, you get super strong, you get muscles in the gym, you get a great job, you get an education, and then you start a family and your life is complete. Even, and I won't get anecdotal, but just to make a small little like cutout, even as an LGBTQ man, which most men will probably reduce me to regardless, my experience outside of my sexuality is so much larger because of the simple fact that I was not raised with the intention of marrying, or I, even though I was raised after getting outside and not having an attraction to women, I could view them as people rather than viewing them as milestones that checked off specific boxes for my life. To know that the reality that women live in from a perspective of a man who is potentially going to pursue her in the future is to be a baby maker and a homestead wife over long periods of time, to cater to this person in every way, shape, or form without actually providing any domestic labor or any intellectual labor, or actually like creating a solid foundation for this woman to actually have a functioning life. It's such an inhumane thing to digest, to just see that women have literally just been dissected and reduced to nothing but a concept for men to digest and take advantage of consistently. It's a very sad world to live in, and I think that more men should understand that before even thinking about marriage. So if you're a woman and you're between the ages of 20 to 30, don't talk to men. One take.
This is my scolding hot take, and you're either going to be ready to hear this or you're not going to be. Women historically have been slaves. I understand there's different forms of slavery, but women, in the true definition of the word, have been enslaved. Marriage was the act of making women property. Marriage was the way of exchanging women as property. Marriage was the property transfer of a woman between her father and her husband. Regardless of how you feel about it, that's the fact. That was the origination, the original purpose of marriage as a construct. The reason why you see divorce rates rise is because women finally have agency over whether or not we stay in these marriages. The reason why you're seeing marriage rates and birth rates decline is because for the first time in human history, women have had more agency than we've ever had on whether or not we get married in the first place and whether or not we decide to have children. There is a reason why women have been socially conditioned into believing that if we don't have children, or if we're not married, or a man didn't choose us, that's like the biggest insult to our identity or our value as human beings. I personally disagree with the entire construct of marriage. I believe that marriage signifies the ownership of women, and I disagree with it as a concept as a whole. And if you're not new to my page, you know that I have no intention of ever getting married. I relish in the idea of being single. I do not want to have any children. And I relish in the idea that for the first time, I'm one of the first generations of women who have the freedom to not participate in any of those things. So to me, not only is it not an insult to my identity and does not dictate my worthiness as a human being, it is a privilege that I get to choose not to get married. It is a privilege that I get to choose not to have children. And I believe that as a woman, you should avoid getting married. You should avoid having children. I think if you are even remotely on the fence about any of those concepts, you need to avoid it. Marriage benefits men, and having children benefits the patriarchy. I'm not saying that no one should have children, or that's where it gets kind of like muddy. Like, I think that marriage does have protections for women who do want to have children, or for women who are with a partner who's great. There are legal protections around that marriage works in favor for. But as a general concept, I think marriage represents the enslavement of women. I think marriage represents, and this is just the way it is. This isn't my opinion. This is what it's been historically. Marriage represents the ownership of property that is women. Marriage is a huge deal, and especially as a woman, if you are at all on the fence about getting married, you need to not get married. Fuck the soft life shit. Fuck the not doing anything with your life. Fuck not making your own money. You need to make your own money. That is a privilege. That is a blessing that you live in a time where you can make your own money and you can make something out of your own life. Do not trade this privilege that women have fought for a G-Wagon or for trips to Erewhon. You are worth so much more than that. Your life is worth so much more than that. You live in a time unlike any other in human history. There are women before you who would have given anything to be able to have the opportunities that you have today. They would have given anything. If you marry a rich man, your life will be controlled by him. Your quality of life is going to be dictated by that man. Your relationship may look a certain way today, but it could be very different 10 years from now. It could be very different after you have 4 of his children. It's not worth the Chanel bags. It's not worth the Cartier bracelets. It's not worth the fancy vacations. This is your one life. This is your independence. This is your autonomy. Please just think very long and hard before you enter these contracts, because getting out of marriage, going through a divorce, is a fucking grueling process. Co-parenting with somebody who is being difficult, who is trying to control you, is a all-consuming process. You need to really understand what you're signing up for when you do that. This is not something that you do unless you are absolutely sure. Again, it's super nuanced, and there are legal protections that work in women's favor when it comes to marriage. But if I were to give you any kind of advice, avoid getting married, make your own money, do your own thing with your life. Do not put all your eggs in the basket of a man. Because once you get married and once you have those children, everything's different. You do not have that same freedom anymore. You will not have that same opportunity anymore. You can still make it happen. And there are women who their children are like the best thing. It's like, I totally understand. I respect that. I'm not saying it's impossible, but it's going to be very hard and it's going to be very different. Being single and childless is a fucking flex. Okay? It is. It's much better than being in a grueling divorce, being in an unhappy marriage, being controlled by a man, or having to co-parent with someone who's fucking crazy. Please just take this seriously. Okay?
I can never be submissive to a man. Neither my 6 daughters. Submissive, total bullshit. I'd rather be a single woman any day, proudly, so I knock my chest. Marriage is not visa to heaven. Is your wife a lap dog? If you want an Alsatian dog or a lap dog or a poodle that you say, sit down. I try as much as possible to put in 110% into my marriage. I went to a Thai restaurant for 3 months to learn how to cook Thai cuisine. I went to an Indian restaurant for 3 months to learn how to cook. And the damn man still goes out to cheat.
Do you think cheating is enough to end the marriage?
For a younger woman,
Yes.
who is not experienced, it could. But a more matured me, no. Men don't cheat because they don't love their wives. I use myself as an example. I am an idealist. I try as much as possible to put in 110% into my marriage. I'm very domesticated. I haven't kept a maid for 10 years. I do all my housework, even with my bad knees. I cook. At any given time, I have 22 varieties. I went to a Thai restaurant for 3 months to learn how to cook Thai cuisine. I went to an Indian restaurant for 3 months to learn how to cook. And then I'm doing all this. Then you too, you go still go look to learn how you go make love to the man. You perfect all. And the damn man still goes out to cheat. You now feel it's an insult on you. You feel there is something lacking in you. You feel inadequate, that you couldn't please him. And you feel very hurt. So a younger me could really. But a more matured me, no. I have a lot of cousins, male cousins. And I used to see their opinion. He said, Rosalie, if you know how the girls and they chase us too, they don't let us rest. Even when you turn them down, you turn 1, 2, 3, you go come see one when you see the Ikebe self too. Yeah, she there for back, Bobby there for front. It's okay, Kinsha, welcome. So when the temptation is there, you take it. It is no reflection on your wife. And then this silly girl gets the access to your phone number, and is sending, as far as I'm concerned, stalking messages, and your wife accidentally maybe comes across it. No, I will fight you. I will quarrel with you, raise hell and all, but leave you? No. Men don't cheat because they don't love their wives. They love their wives to heaven and back and still cheat. A lot of them, the opportunity just presents itself. Others, the damn girls outside too won't give these men peace of mind. They pursue them, particularly when you are in power. Particularly when you are in position, when you are in power. That's why I felt cross at the imprisonment that Mike Tyson served in the U.S. It's not fair. What was that girl doing in his hotel room at 1 o'clock? Now, Ludo, go there, go play with her. Didn't she know what she was looking for? And what Mbappe there now, is it in Sweden or wherever that he went
recently.
to? All these accusations against all these football stars and the rest. What are these, not to talk of groupies that follow musicians, throwing their bras, they're not the wear pants, go, all. They put sex right in front of those people. And if you are not disciplined, maybe you've taken a shot of brandy or whiskey, one too much, and it is there. It's available. It has nothing to do with your feelings about your wife. You love your wife. You love your home. As far as you are concerned, it's just a one-off thing. You even use a condom. This woman, and if you don't use yours, she would have poked the condom, hoping that she would trap you.
see, when we tell you people about the institution of marriage and we are pointing out how historically, culturally, systemically, fundamentally, that institution has been set up against women and only for the benefit of men. You people say we are better. You people say, oh, we are single, nobody has picked us, that's why we are doing this. We are trying to, get young women to join in our misery. But there's a video of a Nigerian pastor circulating now where he's bragging, talking with so much joy and excitement about how he killed his wife's dreams. When he first met her, she wanted to be a medical doctor. She was so obsessed. All she wanted to be was a medical doctor. All her passwords included doctor. She was already reading a course in something biology, and then after that she was going to top up and then become a medical doctor. When he met her, he stopped her from going to pursue medicine. And then she said, okay, if you won't let me become a doctor, let me just go do my master's abroad. He killed that dream too. And he insisted she stayed in Nigeria with him, that she was going nowhere. He's bragging about it, laughing joyfully. But you see, it's good because he includes a session where he's saying, whatever dreams you want to achieve, especially for women, you women, achieve it. Oh, whatever it is you want to do for yourself, do it before you get that, before you enter into marriage, because that institution has been set up for men. You think if it was the man that wanted to become a medical doctor, you think something will stop him? You think you need permission from his wife? She's given up everything. She knows her entire support system in Nigeria, enjoying him and following him wherever he needs to go for his dreams. Let's be honest. If he was the one that wanted to become whatever it is, pursue his masters, you think the woman has a choice? No. I tell people this, when I was young, in my neighborhood, sometimes when people are going to get married within the neighborhood or within the community, you hear of it. Other times you don't hear of it. One of the easiest ways I could tell a man I knew in the neighborhood had recently gotten married, let's say within 3 months, 4 months, has recently gotten married, is how good the man suddenly looks. He begins to start dressing well. He's wearing nice shirts, African print shirts, kaftan, his shoes, his trousers. He's gained a decent amount of weight. He looks healthy. He's no longer skinny with his bones. He's healthy because why? He's eating good. He's sleeping good. He has somebody taking care of all the nitty-gritties that he requires to now pursue his career and his dreams. Men start looking good immediately they get married. The opposite was for women. One way I could tell a woman in my neighborhood has recently gotten married is how suddenly she stops taking care of herself, or she no longer has time for herself. It's the visible physical changes from stress and from now prioritizing somebody else's needs. You see, when women get married, they immediately assume the role of a mother. They don't have to have babies of their own, and they don't have to go through pregnancy and childbirth to assume the role of a mother. When women marry, they become mothers. You see, and then the self-neglect starts. When we are talking about the institution of marriage, we don't hate you. I would love for you to prosper. I would love for you to be in love and have a great support partner and have a marriage that actually enhances your life. But if you people don't pay attention to the research and what the research shows from sociology, from psychology, from divorce lawyers, marriage fundamentally is an institution, women, that has been set up against your progress. That's why there are women who prioritize marrying into money so they can have help and assistance here and there. I won't prescribe that to you because it also comes with its own things. But if you're a woman and you have dreams and goals, focus on that and prioritize that, and make sure that who you select as a partner is somebody that understands that you're an individual before you're a wife. You're an individual before you're a mother. Okay, there are so many women, African women, walking in resentment, sitting in resentment because for the past 5 years, 6 years that they got married, their lives have just been put on hold. And the man, his dreams are going on. He's pursuing everything he needs and wants. You see, and men have found a way to manipulate women to believe that their dreams are for the benefit of the entire family. But you, a woman's dream, is not that important, right? So the man is, oh, I'm doing this for us. It's a sacrifice for us. But if you divorce him right now, his credentials are his and his alone. His fame is his and his alone. His professional experience is his and his alone. You cannot work with that man's credentials. Stop letting these men trick you into believing that what he's doing is for your benefit. And this is why so many women find it so hard to divorce in Africa, because they've given up so much of themselves and their lives to this institution with nothing to show for it. All those things he's doing in the name of his sacrifice for the family, it's his and his alone. It's on his CV. In sociological research and in feminist sociological research, there's something called glass ceilings, which is what feminist researchers saw as something, this invisible barriers that block women from succeeding in life, that stunts women's growth and their potential, that limits or curbs or kills it. Glass ceilings, it's a ceiling, it's a blockade, but you can't see it. This is societal narratives, societal stereotypes, expectations, religious expectations. So many women are confused about what it means to be a good Christian wife and to be an individual. They don't even know what that means. Sometimes having autonomy feels like you are going against your religious teachings on what it means to be a woman. These are parts of the glass ceilings. Because why is it that this pastor is bragging about how he killed his wife's dreams, but if it's his dreams, he does not need permission from anybody? So girls, wake up, wise up. Don't listen to these incels and dimwits on the internet telling you not to listen to feminists. Feminists want your best interest at heart. Go to school, learn a trade, start that business. And whoever you're going to pick as your life partner is somebody that recognizes fundamentally how important it is for you to do things that make you fulfilled outside of being a wife and outside of being a mother. You are an individual first, okay? Do you understand me? One of the most important decisions you make in your life is who you choose to marry. Marry somebody that is wise. Marry somebody that has evolved. Marry somebody that understands that this institution fundamentally and historically is an institution that hasn't served women in their best interest, and is somebody that should also be willing to make sacrifices for your own personal and individual growth. Because outside of that marriage, you are still a human being. Do you understand me? Okay.
You know what, ladies? Go ahead and get married. Get married, get it out your system. That way you can see what the hype is all about. Like, get it, go ahead, because y'all want it so bad. Y'all are fighting so hard to be domestic servants. Y'all want to be, I don't know what it is you think that marriage is going to provide you outside of the contractual benefits. You ain't going to live as long. You're not going to be as happy. You're not going to be as healthy. But if you want it so bad, do it. Just do it. Then you can stop with the fantasy of it all. Then you can stop wondering what you're missing out on. Then you can stop chasing it, and you can realize it's not what it's cracked up to be. Get it out your system. Go ahead, give yourself about 5 years, maybe 7 years max. Feel it, understand, and then be done. Be done. Now there's no more hype about it. Now there's no more curiosity about it. Now you don't have to live your life longing for something. Do it. Get it out your system. I don't want to hear nothing else about it. I don't want to hear no more complaints. Because it's what it is a lot of y'all get married and realize that what people have been telling y'all, and now you stuck. And now you in it. And now you like, dang, I can't even go against the system because this is something that I begged for. This is something that I prayed for. So go ahead, do it. Do it. Do it. Let us know how you like it. Be honest though, because most of y'all are lying. Most of y'all are lying about how you feel about that marriage and that man. But go ahead, get it out your system. Go ahead. The reality is, marriage benefits men, but divorce benefits women. Yes, alimony, spousal support, but let's be honest, how many of y'all are actually dealing with men that are affording you this lifestyle already so that when the divorce happens, now he owes you this? Y'all aren't. Y'all aren't. Y'all are begging to be married to some of the worst people. All it is just to validate the decisions you made to have that man's kids or to move that man in and to do certain things for him. So the validation for you is, let me at least get a ring. No, good luck. Good luck.
My goodness, you are so beautiful. You're 24 years old. Never get married, ever. Whenever I look back, definitely getting married ruined everything in my life. Yeah. That's my son. I love him a lot, but he ruined my life. Yeah, if I could go back in time, I would never get married, and I would also never have children. Never do that. It'll ruin your life. You are so beautiful. You should have 5 boyfriends at the same time. You're single. You should be dating everybody. Just continue to travel, spend all your money on experiences and traveling, and never ever settle down, never have children, and never get married. Ever. Ugh, I remember when I was as young as you. You're so beautiful, and no man will ever deserve you. Never trust a man. They're all cheaters. Every single man will cheat. So never ever trust a man. Never get married, queen. Ah, you're so beautiful. Never get married.
So you woke me up for what?
You need to leave. I need you gone. Like, you gotta go.
Can we revisit this after the holidays?
No, today. We not doing after holidays and prolonging this whole process. No.
So you're gonna ruin the holidays for everyone, for the kids, for
The holidays
my family.
wasn't on your mind when you did what you did. Like, we're not doing this. This is cyclical. This is a cycle, what you know.
Okay, but what? Okay, so your birthday, I was planning something real big,
That's
and
fine.
now
That's my birthday. I
can
don't
we
need
s-
anything.
can we like?
No, that's 7-8 months out. No.
So there is no reconciliation right now.
No. There's always a reconciliation. There's always a reclamation. There's always a recycle. We are not. No. You gotta go.
Are you really doing this right now?
Are you doing that right now on the camera?
Women are not the way they were back in the day. What happened to our grandmas? You know what happened to your grandma? Your grandma was trapped in that marriage with your
Let's listen to a couple short clips from this elder's love story.
Now I'm stuck with this crazy man that I had the baby for, and he told me, he said, if you don't marry me, I'm going to kill you. So I was like, I ain't trying to marry this man because he has already been slapping on me before then. I was like 19. Anyway, so I had to deal with him. So as time went on, I went on and got married because I was afraid for my life. Yeah, so anyway.
Did you hear that beautiful marriage proposal? He said, if you don't marry me, I'm gonna kill you. She got married not because she was head over heels in love, not because this man was so good to her, but because she was afraid for her life. And I promise you, this lady probably got a grandson right now on the internet talking about why isn't anybody like my grandma? So the next time a Dustantian from the region of Krustyville gets up in your face and has the nerve to say, why aren't you like my grandmama and my mama? And why can't you treat me the way they treated my granddaddy? Go ahead and send them this video. I'm gonna tag it in the caption.
Welcome back. I hope you're enjoying my series, and we're talking about why romance is a form of psychological warfare that is used against women. And we are also talking about topic number 4. Topic number 4 is women are not meant to be caged. Women are not meant to be caged. For some women, I will go so far as to say women should be carefree. They should be like water just flowing. They should be wild. And some women deserve to be feral. I said it, feral. Let me tell you why I know this to be true. Marriage is an institution that binds women. And in order to allow that institution to exist, romance must be the bait, right? So we bait these women and say, listen to me. You should be loving me. You should be having children. You should be wanting a family. You should be wanting to be attached to someone. How dare you want to be alone and discovering and finding out who you are and intrigued with anything other than having a man and children, right? I tell people all the time that women are exposed to have freedom, and that freedom comes along with autonomy. And autonomy is a choice to be who you are whenever you want to be that person and switch up as you like. I say for myself that I can be feral. And I've seen other women be feral or wild or expressive or fun and free. And let me tell you how I know this to be true. Let a bunch of girls get together. There is no man around. There are no children around. The first thing they're going to do is be silly. They're going to turn up. They're going to do. Don't let us be at a club having ladies' night. Baby, the best thing a man can do is go that way. We are feral. We are wild. We are expressive. We are like water. Freedom and autonomy bother men. Why it bothers men, I'm really not sure. You know what? I know why it bothers men. Because men believe they are the only one who should ever be free and autonomous, who should be able to exercise their right, who should be able to love themselves, do whatever they want to do at a whim. And men hate to see women who by choice say, listen, I don't want to be tied down to you. I don't want to be tied down to none of your kids. I don't want to be tied down to your drama. I'm not interested in being a wife. I'm not interested in being a maid. I'm not interested in being a servant, because the emotional capacity and the lack of freedom that comes with that for a woman is stifling. And these roles are 24/7, 365, especially when you have children. And don't let your man be a man-child, baby. Women are supposed to be feral. Women are supposed to be wild. Women are supposed to be expressive. And romance has been used to insist on women being married or attached to a man and wanting to have his children. And if you decide something other than that, oh gosh, you are considered the worst of the worst. How dare you choose your freedom? How dare you choose to do what you want to do when you want to do it? I'm telling you, romance is psychological warfare. Because if you can capture the mind, you can definitely capture the body. And men capture the mind so they can have your body forever.
At the age of 54 and 2 divorces later, let me give you the marriage advice I wish that I had listened to. Love is not enough. Marry for character, not just chemistry. You're not just marrying them, you're marrying their habits, their debt, and their family drama. Marriage will never fix loneliness. The wrong person will make it worse. You can't marry potential. You're not a life coach, you're a spouse. Being alone is way better than wishing you were. The right person will make you feel safe. The wrong one will make you feel small. We'll figure it out is not a financial plan. Some people don't want love, they want control. Learn the difference. You should be excited to marry them, not just relieved that they finally committed. Be prepared to marry the whole family. Period. Hope that helps.